at special effect. They try to make the lives of physically disabled people better through the use of custom gaming peripherals. They are a fantastic charity, so please, give if you can by following the link in our stream description or by typing the link you can see scrolling across your screen on the information bar. Every little helps, and we will be reading out donations periodically throughout the show. Alternatively, you could purchase one of the UKSM shirts or hoodies that can be found on our store. The link to that is also in the stream description. Those of you watching in the live audience, you can find all of that information and more by going to twitch.tv/UKSM Live. We now have Christerious with Noid 2. Please introduce yourself, and whenever you're ready, give us a countdown so that we can accurately keep track of your time.
Cool. Yep. My name's Christerious. On the couch, I have Leon, a friend of mine. He doesn't speedrun. He did play the game on mousepad, though, which is quite an achievement. You played a bit of it.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yep, not recommended. I'm going to be playing on mouse and keyboard. I don't normally, so if I do anything incorrectly, that's my excuse already. Down. And the countdown will be as soon as I select new game, which will be, if I have the right key, in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I will... I had no idea there were so many Noid fans in the audience, but apparently there are. I'm going to let the cutscene at the start play out. It should accommodate for the estimate. I'll just make sure I run fast. Just because I don't really remember the lore of the game, so I'll just let this play out for everyone. So hopefully that makes sense to everyone. It doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so I could pretend that this is a PS1 game from the era. That's the aesthetics it's going for. It achieves it really well, but it's actually from a one-month game jam, I think about 3 years ago, where the premise was make a game that's like ahead of its time. So they decided to use a very old, well not very old, an old Domino's pizza mascot called the Noid, who is no longer used anymore because of controversial reasons that I won't go into. But they've decided to make a 3D platformer with actually very solid controls and some interesting mechanics, and it comes with a fair share of glitches and skips, of course. That's why we do the speedrun. That's one of them. It's a little bit hard to do, so you're meant to do a bunch of platforming. Instead, you can just wall run here, jump, and just about grab that. There's some ledge grabs, there's wall runs, there's a lot of cool movement in here. I can jump straight there, wall jump off this, and then hopefully get a good boat cycle. It's the only cycle-specific thing in the game. Sadly, that's how the Noid dies, very noisily. So whilst I wait, I'm just going to dab a little bit. There we go. Good, got a few laughs. You'll see that more often. I'm sorry, Argic. Here's another one. Pizza time. Now, you might be wondering, so what purpose does the dab serve? I can see, like, you get this yo-yo, which lets you grapple and swing and stuff. It's pretty cool. And then you have wall running and wall jumping and all this sort of stuff. The dab serves no purpose. It just looks cool. And I just totally fell off whilst I was dabbing. Don't dab and walk at the same time. It's dangerous. But yeah, so this is it's a really solid game for being developed in a month, and there's a fair amount of content. It's quite a quick speed run. It's about 15 to 20 minutes, but there's the whole intro. There are 3 levels. I'm about to go into the first, and then a final boss as well. The final boss is interesting. So this is Swing Factory. Also, I'm going to collect some pepperonis and say pizza a lot. There we go. So there's a whole interior section full of some interesting level design, and I'm going to skip all of it. You can see that little glass in the distance. If I grapple, jump as soon as I release it, you get a lot more momentum. And now I've skipped half the level. I'm not meant to be here. Thank you. I'm very sorry for the level designer of that bit that I'm skipping. Levi, if they're watching, I'm really sorry. They designed that whole interior section and we skip all of it. That's just speedrunning for you. And the momentum likes to take you there sometimes. If I die again, remind me to do this. That's better. A nice little Doppler effect if you move the camera when you die. Oh man, that's a lot of deaths. I'm only dying intentionally so that I can just do this a lot. There we go. And up here. Okay, cool. So the rest of the level is played largely normally. This section's quite hard. Oh, thank God. That's some really hard platforming. And then hopefully I can get some cool grapples here. Not quite high enough. It only really saves probably like half a second to do this and skip having to grapple a bunch. Shoutouts to Super Mario Sunshine, which this totally doesn't steal from. This is a completely original game for the PS1, which came out before Sunshine. And now I've collected my pizza.
There are lots of instances where Mario basically stole from this game.
Yes, yeah, I will mention them later as well. Yeah, there's a couple more I tend to riff off of, yeah. I mean, no, this came out before every Mario game, in fact. So Mario stole from Noid, who was ahead of his time. So this level, if anyone, I have my doubts that many people have played this game. You might be wondering what the hell's going on. This level is very hard. It's almost Tomb Raider puzzle-esque. You don't do any puzzles, though. You end up skipping all of them, which I will show off shortly. Firstly, I have to get one key at least, which is proving to be a little bit of a struggle. There we go. There's some good parkour going on here. So here's a key. Keys open doors. You have and you tend to get hugged by the door as well. You have 6 keys in this level that you could collect to open door after door. There's a bunch of these purple doors. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to take advantage of what we tend to call grapple momentum. If you hold neutral, and by that I mean you just don't move directions at all, whilst you're grappling, you conserve all the momentum when you release. So if I do this to get up to that door that I'm not meant to be going to, I've skipped half of this level as well. And here we go. In fact, I say half. We're pretty much done with the level. I just need to go here. I'm going to try one dumb trick once. If it doesn't work, I'm going the slow way. Nah, that's really, really hard. No one even tries it who's trying to play this game quickly, so I don't know why I even tried. We just go around the somewhat normal way, which isn't particularly normal because we're still going to skip this as such. I never normally get those bits first try, so that's actually quite impressive. So this is actually quite a good second level. And then we go here, do a little more running, open the final red door, and here's another pizza. So that's the second level down. As you can see in the middle, we're assembling a pizza tower made up of boxes and pizzas to get to that planet over there for some reason. I'm not really going to go into the lore. Whilst I wait, I'm just going to dab a few more times.
You essentially get a choice of which levels to go into.
Yeah, it's an open world. I mean, there's not much in the open world, but it is an open world. You can choose whichever level. There's very minor routing. You tend to go the shortest path, so that's the reason the level order is as such. Oh, nearly fell off again. So, you think, well, hopefully this speedrunner plays one of the levels normally, right? Maybe they'll play this level normally. No, we're going to go out of bounds, because out of bounds is always fun in speedruns. So we're already kind of out of bounds, and now we're definitely out of bounds. Oh, that's the death plane. Just step a little bit to the right of the death plane, and then go 45 degrees to the left. Walk across this galaxy-esque, curved world, and then, oh look, just in case you manage to fall out of bounds, they kindly put this grapple so that you can get back in, which speedrunners love. So we can now go back into the world, and we've skipped, again, roughly about half of the level. I'm rounding a little bit. So there is one key we absolutely need to get, which is down here. So I'm just going to fall down and do that. And then we've got a very Super Mario Galaxy-esque last section coming up. Once I find this green key, go back on myself, and then we will be riding a rocket very shortly. Because why not? I mean, we need to get into the galaxy. This rocket is conveniently here, activated by this one switch, apparently, which activates the entire Domino's Pizza rocket. I'm hoping to grab some pizza after this as well, actually. And hopefully, if I do this right, if I hold left and then release just as I get released from the grapple, I'll fall straight into the first key. There we go, that was the key noise, that's number one. And now this one is horrible because the camera's pretty good, you can move it. Well, you can move the camera with the mouse, so you have full control over it. So really, if the camera's bad, it's all my doing. But it is just very hard to know where you're going in this. But yeah, that's very, very Super Mario Galaxy-esque. I need 3 more keys, so we're going to do this little platforming grappling section and collect a bit more pizza. Just to explain, the pizza's used as a sort of bonus thing you can collect. You don't need to, though. It's more just for 100%ing if you want to, which is a category in itself. I am slightly lost on the planet. There we go. There's the last one. We're going to do a little bit of wall jumping like we did in the first level. And thankfully, I collected the key just before I fell off. And now we've got this section, which is probably most people's least favorite part of the speedrun. You have these horrible rotating cubes. And hopefully, I don't fall off. And there we go. And there's the last pizza. Thank you. The pizza tower is finally assembled, so we can now climb it to victory. You can actually softlock yourself inside the pizza box if you want to. I won't, because that's slow, and we're trying to do a speedrun here, so... I forget which pizza box it is. I think it's... yeah, I've gone past it. So a few little speed optimizations here. If you jump just as you get in here, you get a lot more momentum, rather than just walking into it. Now, sadly, I'm playing a remastered version, which comes with more characters and stuff. You can, normally, it never works, dab through this door. I'm going to try it 3 times, but they patched it out, so it's incredibly hard. So I'm just going to have to open the door normally by yeeting it all the way over there. That's how most people open doors, I'm pretty sure. And then fall into the final boss level, I guess. There is a slight vertical platforming section for this bit. Let's hopefully get some momentum from here. If you jump kind of close to, like, within a few frames, if you jump, you keep the momentum you get from the grapple there as well. This bit is kind of hard. I might fall down once or twice. Hopefully not. So I'm going to jump on this TV, thankfully positioned in places where I need to be. Jump off here, grapple something you can't even see at the moment. Jump off this TV, and we're done. Great, cool. Boss time. So I hope you like Super Mario 64 Bowser throws, because you're kind of doing it in reverse. Also, I hope you like Mike Hatsune, because that's the final boss, obviously. Do you want to explain the lore behind this part? You know the advert is referencing.
I could try, but...
You don't have notes about this bit specifically?
If you go on YouTube... Well, the video's gone now, hasn't it?
The video is... No, I'm pretty sure someone's probably re-uploaded it.
Someone re-uploaded it.
There is a Domino's Pizza advert with...
Yeah. Yeah, just go on, you know, it's got Hatsune Miku, it's a Domino's Pizza advert, it's got the president of Domino's there, you know.
It's an experience, yeah. I would try and explain it, but it's better to see it for the first time. Yes. So I highly recommend watching this advert. But yeah, this is Mike, Miku's dad, obviously. And they just don't want you to be the Domino's Pizza mascot. They want Miku to be the mascot, so they're going to try and kill me. Also, shout-outs to the music. It's an absolute jam. Like, all the music's good, but this boss music in particular is really good. And I can hear it fudding through the speakers. So yeah, reverse Bowser throws. You're throwing dice into the boss rather than like throwing the boss into the bonds. See, totally like Mario 64, but this came out before it. So again, Mario's shamelessly stealing from the Noid. But I'm avoiding these blue areas. They will shock me and reset the pattern. You can't die here at all. You can only slow it down, which is obviously bad for speedrunning. Yeah, so I'm trying to get on the bit that isn't blue. The red is just telling you, you get 3 patterns that suggest where is safe, and then it turns blue, so that you don't step in the dangerous area. Dice are random, which is nice, because, you know, dice are random, sort of. So the randomness comes through the form of dice. There's no other randomness in this game apart from this, which is great. I love randomness at the end of my speedruns. They're my favorite. Oh, that was annoying. I just touched it with my tippy toes. Also, I haven't been dabbing enough through this, so well, that's the instant karma. I hope Argic's happy that dabbing's actually dangerous, so I should stop dabbing. Let me try and get this cycle, and then I will dab. It's really weird on keyboard compared to controller. Ugh. Thankfully, the only punishment is just doing it again. And this is one of the harder patterns. You really shouldn't get hit, though. That dice is nice. Let me hope if it will let me grapple. There we go. There's about 2 more phases left. I will tell you when time is. Time is when the last text box disappears. If it appears, I might glitch the game out because I want to. This is the second to last phase. Hopefully the blue doesn't appear. It did. Okay, there we go. 1 more hit soon. I haven't learnt my lesson. I'm still dabbing when it's dangerous. Final hit coming up, but not the end of the time. I'm going to try and do a glitch as well that makes everything work really weirdly. If I can even throw. If that wouldn't shock me, please. Oh man, this is tough. Oh man, I'm just throwing them everywhere but the boss. There's even a lock-on system, so it should really be easy, like that. There, I've soft-locked the camera, I can walk wherever I want, and the text boxes I told you about, they don't appear anymore, but I will tell you when the timer ends. And everything goes a bit glitchy. And time. Yeah, so that is a video game. So shout outs to everyone in the credits, which, did I glitch the credits as well? No, good, because that would make things awkward. Yeah, shout outs to the developers. They're actually really, really cool guys. They all helped a lot with us speedrunning the game. We even did QA testing for their re-release as well, which came out like a year later. They just wanted to patch things and add a few more features. All the guys here. Shout outs to the speedrunning community as well, because there is actually quite a large one. If you go to speedrun.com, I believe it's YN2, but just search Noid 2. The speedrun leaderboards are actually quite popular. Check out the Discord as well if you want to run this game for some reason. But otherwise, thank you to specific runners like Riven, who helps me a lot when I forget how to play this game and they remind me, because I only play this because it's funny. But there are some cool speedrun tech. I hope that you enjoyed the speedrun side of things as well as just what on earth was going on. But no, in terms of shouting out the speedrunners, if I wait a little bit, there's a special thanks to, yep, hopefully this does not get sued by Domino's Pizza. It hasn't yet. Yeah, there are a few people who play tested, and I think some people related to the Game Jam. And these names, all of them are the speedrunners, including me. So shouts to them. And Scott, the president.
Scott, of course.
Exactly, the president of Domino's Pizza.
President of Pizza.
Previous president of Domino's Pizza.
True.
And Miku and everything.
He will always be president of Domino's in my mind.
But yes, and thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for the audience, anyone watching at home, and Special Effect, and UKSM as well. Everyone's been really great. Thank you for having me. And what's the next run? I'm
Yeah, that was Christerious with Yo Noid 2. Next up, we have Clever Pigeon with